Hey guys. Yeah. Hi, I guess is probably I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah. Hello. Um well, this is a bit of a funny thing, isn't it? I'm playing War Thunder again. And when I say War Thunder playing, I'm going to prove that I've been playing. Where is the community? Is it community? It's community. There you go. I've been playing for the last few days. And yeah, yeah. Okay, well, this is probably not such a big deal. I guess I suppose I've been kind of the more of the proprietor of the Gaijin sort of monarchy. But to be honest with you, over the course of the last, say 6 months, I'd say 6 months to a year, it was about 2 years when I gave up on War Thunder, wasn't it? Like originally. Yeah, it was about 2 years, wasn't it? I mean, I made jokes about War Thunder, but the thing is, over the course of the last 6 months, I have been kind of popping on, playing a little bit of it, not really feeling it so much, then uninstalling, and then, of course, the whole April Fool's joke was the thing as well. So, obviously, it's a bit of a hypocritical, you could argue, me jumping back onto a game that at one point I called the scum of all humanity, and I cursed the game's designers with it. But I will actually say this once. I have never once said that War Thunder was a bad game. War Thunder is an exceptionally good game. Just sadly, the company behind it made some pretty poor decisions in the past. However, the good news, I would say good news, however, obviously due to the recent circumstances with regards to wargaming, this might sound a bit cheap, slash whatever, but although wargaming is 100% not going to do it again, which is great and fantastic, kind of have muddied their shoes a bit. Like, I think there will always be now a little scrap of, I suppose, dishonorable, I say dishonorable, yeah, dishonorable. No, but in my opinion, I will always be wary of this fact. Like, it's happened, you know, you can't ever, you know, this is part of a historical fact. Wargaming can convey, oh, this is never going to happen again, and I would say I believe them, but it's a bit like when you're growing up and you've got a best friend of yours and you think for a very long time, oh, you're never gonna have problems and you guys are gonna be the best of buds, whatever. And then you see his real side for a few days. Like maybe he has an off week, or he has he gets a girlfriend, or or it's the same and it's a girl and she gets a boyfriend or whatever, and they kind of change their personality for a bit. They are a real arse to you for some whatever reason, and you end up getting quite scorned and hurt for it. But they come back and they apologize and they buy you a drink and say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm been a complete asshole, and I'll never do that again, sort of thing. So he'll promise, he or she will never promise to never do that kind of crap again, and they may never do, but you'll always remember that they did it. That's my personal belief on the matter. So basically, the last sort of subject for wargaming is they are probably never going to pull that kind of crap again, but they have done it now. They've made the move. They made that very poor decision, and that's going to be with them probably for the rest of their wargaming's career. So yeah, it's how I say it. And I'm not sort of justifying, oh, wargaming screwed up, so now I can happily go jump back in bed with Gaijin. Obviously, Gaijin have also learnt their mistake and have made attempts to fix said mistake, which I am very happy for. So obviously, what? Oh, configuration. Oh, okay, that's cool. Ooh, got all nice and bright and sparkly. Actually, I was honest with you, I think I'll go 50%, because then, in the background. Oh yeah, that's cool. Ah, okay. But anyway, so as you can see, I am now playing War Thunder. Now, I'm not going to do, as I said, this kind of still falls under the wargaming / World of Tanks / Armored Warfare thing that I'm no longer as interested in making videos for stuff. So if I do make a video, it's not going to be a guaranteed thing, X, Y, and Z. And yeah, but I wanted to make a video on this because I will say, forget the politics, it's a good game. I like this game. I will always maintain that the, realistic planes, for example, the planes mechanics in this game, possibly one of the most enjoyable fighter games, of the 20th century, World War II to Korean War that I've ever had. I will always maintain that, even if the game has very poor choices when it comes to balancing. For example, I'm not going to have a major rant on, but you know, the Russian planes, we all jest and joke, but we all know that there are certain planes in this game which have a slightly unhistorical loadout and surprisingly lasted longer and actually fly better than their real-life counterparts. We know this, but again, it's a video game. You are going to have, you know, you are going to have historical inaccuracies to a degree, slash slight bullshit, but then again, every game of this caliber, including wargaming, has its own kind of bullshit mechanic. It happens, you know. RNG is a great example of the BS that can occur in World of Tanks. In this game, it's kind of a mixture of potentially overpowered planes. I mean, I have not jumped onto the forums, so I'm not going to say any of these one planes are overpowered. I mean, to be honest with you, the British planes could be overpowered for all I know. So could the American planes or the German planes. You know, the Germans have some pretty nice weapons and the German planes have some pretty devastating fighters. You've got also the premium fighters. You've got the TAR 154, the D13, which is ridiculous. You've got, like, there are plenty of planes out there that can do a lot of damage and do a lot of potentially could be overpowered. I mean, hell, even the Italian line now that's available could be considered overpowered. I'm not saying it is, but you never know. There's certain things that this game might be changing, you know. But the general gist is that to sort of be really nitpicky on these particular things now, I don't think I could ever be as nitpicky as before, because, well, it's kind of pot calling the kettle black. But no, I mean, I've always said I enjoyed this game's flight mechanics. I suck at them at the moment. I've yet to jump back into the planes. I've kind of focused on ground vehicles at the moment because, yeah, because some of the vehicles... Oh, is it Jap tanks? It is Jap tanks. I have focused primarily on ground combat, as I'm better at ground combat in this game, he says, finger quoting. I am better at ground combat in this game than flight combat, because I prefer to do the realistics aspect of this game. Jumping into arcade is a nice brain fart sort of thing. Like, if you don't really want to think too much, then I tend to go into that. But when it comes to games I want to get better at, realistic is probably something I want to jump into. Same goes for aircraft. With regards to aircraft, I don't want to jump into arcade. I want to kind of go into realism. It means, of course, I've got a lot to learn, and I'm going to probably have many, many, many games where I suck, and my aircraft is going to explode or whatever, but that's besides the point. So, yes, the long and short of it, I'm back on War Thunder. I'm playing War Thunder. At the moment, I'm playing it a fair amount because I haven't really played it, and there's new things for me to jump into. So, there's that to talk about, which is nice. So yeah, today though I thought I'd give you a bit of a quick preview as to just how much fun, to a degree, how much fun I've had playing this game since I got back into it with a replay. Yes, my first ever replay that I was ever going to save. So, this replay, dubbed Holy Fucking Shit, is the replay in question. So, I shall show you the replay. I'll see you in game. So, here we are in the replay. That is, and we're on an arcade map, admittedly, so it's an arcade mode. This map is... It doesn't actually say on this thing, which is a bit of a shame. But it's basically a wintry style map. I am, of course, in the IS tank, the Russian heavy tank, which I believe is at battle rating 5.0. Maybe slightly higher, 5.3, not too sure. It's a very nice and effective vehicle. Frontal armor is actually very good. Not perfect though. You can still get through, if you got a good enough shot, you can still get through the frontal armor. But I'm running around with the 85mm gun, which you can get on the T-34-85 as well. This was my first choice vehicle, as I am still grinding the thing. And I'm proceeding to push down the left-hand side of the map, or right, technically, for me, pushing onto the C flank. One thing I will say about War Thunder that I think, to be honest with you, is actually now lacking in World of Tanks, is that one of the things I sort of still enjoy about this game is that this game has weak spot awareness. Still, it's kind of a higher focus of this game. Because, you know, in World of Tanks, because of the premium tanks that are now flooding the market along with premium shells, weak points are no longer really a thing. Whereas in War Thunder, you know, there are still moments where you get penned from unbelievable angles, but generally speaking, when you die, it's because the enemy's gotten a good flank shot onto you, resulting in you either losing your crew or your ammunition exploding. So, you know, awareness of your weak spots is something to be taken into account. So anyway, we make up with our first contact of the day. I didn't actually see that Firefly to the right, so I think it was just being a bit of a glitch in the replay. But then a KV-1E decides to appear along the point, and he makes a bit of a poor judgment. So I see he's coming, I take my time, hello there, bang, and then he's down. So, kind of a no-brainer, 85 mil versus that, you know, historically would have been the same. But then all of a sudden the Brum Bear appears. Now that thing can do damage. As you can see, luckily, for me at least, he hits the KV-1 into my front, and that thing is virtually incapacitated. I'm trying to see if I can get a shot into the T-34. I fire, I hit, and I do a lot of damage to the gun breach, the commander, as possibly well the driver. But that tank T-34 is now kind of out of action for a while. But the Brum Bear starts coming back, and oh, and there you go. Thank God. So luckily the armor there was just about bad enough for me to pop a shot through. It could have bounced. If I was very unlucky, it probably would have bounced. But luckily for me, it did not, and we killed him. Now, I don't know why, but you can't seem to help repair people anymore, because I was trying to, whilst I was reversing and engaging the enemy vehicles, I was trying to see if I could fix that tank, because you can assist people in repairs, so I don't know if you have to be in a squad with that. Unfortunately, a jumbo appears with a 105, so it's not so dangerous, but it does have a lot of armor, and of course someone rolls around with a BT5. You can imagine how long they'll last. Artillery tries to have a go at us, but unfortunately, luckily for us, not so much. I'm trying to see if I can get a shot in on this T-34, because he's just... God damn it. Right, okay. So now we lose an ally on the right-hand side, and this is where we need to start pushing. So I'm like, right, okay, the jumbo tank can do some damage, but it only has a 105. So fire again, trying to get a shot into the cupola to try and get some damage in. He fires a shell, hits my top of the tank, nothing much. I've got enough armor on the front, kind of hulling down at the moment, trying to use the environment to get good gun depression. T-34 gets blown up, and I begin to move up. I obviously don't see the rock, and my tank is like, no, I'm not going to climb that. Quick moment of drive. Ah, god damn it! Right, me good. Right, there you are, you little bastard. So at this point, M4 tries again to put a shot in. I fire a shot, but I think the shell went straight into the rock in front of me. Not great, but oh well. Sort of constantly jumping into the aiming view. He tries his luck again. He fires. I fire too. Unfortunately, it only goes into his gun mantlet, resulting in the shell not really working out. He tries using his machine gun to damage my gun barrel. This does work from time. And I fire again. His armor is extremely good on the front, so I can't really penetrate that. Try and see if I can get a shot in on his cupola. I fire. The shell goes low and hits his upper plate sort of thing. So, fortunately, but this is where he makes a mistake. He concentrates at aiming on me when I have beautiful side shot, and I fire. Bang! Instant destruction of his vehicle. So, well played, Mr. Jumbo, but unfortunately you made the mistake of tunnel visioning when you really should have been focusing on making sure your frontal armor is able to bounce. And then, of course, I fire again. Bang. And would you look at that? Non-pen from the front of the KV-1. He fires, and oh god, that's a KV-2. Oh god, he's going to fire. Ah! Oh! Oh, that... Oh... That was lucky. That was lucky. I basically took a KV-2 shell to the front of the upper half of my turret and lived. You can see where it impacted as well. So basically the shell impacted on my gun mantlet with sort of slightly reinforced armor, smacking into the gun, completely screwing it over, not to mention the gun sights. Luckily none of the crew were hit, which is a bit of a small miracle to be honest with you. And now... and also, luckily for me, I was able to pop a shell, knocking him out as well. So now I desperately take cover to avoid getting shot at again. As you can see, my vertical stabilizer has been boned, to say the least. So far we got away with a couple of lucky goes. Oh boy. It's a tense moment. Because any point, any vehicle could come out into the open and try and shoot me. I would be completely defenseless. You know, I've got backup, sure, but they're not going to be able to react in time. So for these tense few moments, I'm sitting there with my vertical stabilizer, my vertical gun aiming completely screwed, and then bang, I've repaired it, and so now we can come straight back into the attack. and the enemy KV-1 that decides to... I don't believe I was aware of it at this point. I think the replay kind of telegraphs the position before I'm aware of certain vehicles, because I was still looking for the KV-1, and then I was like, ah, there it is. So as you can see, I try firing, and I have to admit, I make a few mistakes here. I should have been more aggressive in my attack, but I was a little bit, shall you say, stressed from taking the KV-2 shell, and I was fully aware of the moments of potential, shall we say, bullshittery that certain games can enact. So I'm beginning to move up now, finally growing a pair of balls, trying to move, but unfortunately the KV-1 just withdraws slightly too much. Not able to get a decent shot in. I'm desperately trying. I snap a shot there, which I will admit I shouldn't have done, because now I could have taken the shot here and potentially killed the KV-1, but instead I have to wait until this point. He gets a shot on me, but luckily it doesn't do anything, and I get his side of his tank, resulting in his ammunition rack displaying. Destroying. Wow, English language for the win, me. Getting blown up. There we go. So, I've just taken off about, like, what, 4 or 5 vehicles now? Oh, look, it's my American friend. And goodbye. Beautiful impact right into the driver's hatch, resulting in an entire crew getting completely... Now, for those of you arguing the case of, oh, Russian tanks are overpowered, I have been killed numerous times in the IS tank. You know, I, by no means, am any good at this game, nor am I going to promote the fact that this game is easy when you play as the Russian tanks. This thing can die very easily if you aim for any part of the gun mantlet or anything, or any part of the... Oh, and never mind, we'll get back to that in a second. I didn't see this. I did not see this until there, because you can see my reaction. It's like, what the... Wah! Bang! Bit of a snapshot, hull break on the M18. This could have been my death, though, because that thing could have easily screwed me over. And I am taking damage. My driver's hatches are getting destroyed. I'm firing. I get a beautiful shot into the gun barrel of the KB-1, completely annihilating it, resulting in the thing. But this game is virtually over because, well, if you can see the scoreboard, we're winning completely, and the enemy just cannot even begin to stop us. So, at this point on the minimap, I don't know if it will show it, but basically on the minimap, there was, like, for a few seconds, a medium tank icon was here. Now, I had a feeling, and as you can see here, I did not see this. This wasn't around, but I had a feeling that the T-34 was going to try and come up here. So I'm like, okay, let's pretend I haven't seen it, though we're probably not doing a very good job of it right now. But then as the particular vehicle moves up, there you go, you can see on the minimap, that's when I saw it. I was like, aha, there you are, cheeky monkey. I think not. So, I like how it says crew knocked out as the turret flies off. I think the crew's a little bit more than knocked out. So at this point, the game is pretty much over. I make a move, I take my time, bang, goes into the driver's hatch once more, and the game is just about over. At this point, I think the game, about here-ish, the game said, we've won! Or something like that. And yeah, here we go. So the game's like saying, we've won! And I fire a shot, which then knocks out the last KV-1, resulting in me getting 9 kills. I completely forgot about that little thing at the bottom. And getting 9 kills, finishing off, and not even dying once. But however, as you can tell by the numerous holes inside my armor, I took a bit of a punishment. Just a slight punch to the thing, and I feel sorry for the Zis-5 behind me. He's just literally been crawling up the hill, waiting, and then he sees the one opportunity get taken away from him. And he tries to push me as well. Oh dear. I think I might have slightly pissed him off. Whoops. No, but, you know, there you go. So that was a pretty damn good game. I will mention, though, in fact, you know, I'll go to the replay section. You see, I had that game, and it was awesome, and I had a lot of fun. Then I had, was that a victory or a defeat? It doesn't actually say if it was a victory or defeat. Results, Miss Jaeger, defense. Because there are games I've done absolutely terrible in, like I died twice, and then I'd maybe get 1 to 2 kills, or I get AI kills, but yeah, it's, as you can see, 7 deaths. Out of all the deaths, I've got the most deaths there. I've got 2 deaths there. I did actually kind of well on this one. I shot down a couple of planes. This was, I think, when I was playing with the British tanks. Was I playing as Britain? It doesn't actually say, to be honest with you, which is a bit of a shame. But as you can see, the results are fairly mixed. The one thing is guaranteed, though, is that I die a lot. So, by no means, there we go. Oh yeah, KV2 shot and lived. I was playing the American. Actually, that's actually quite a substantial achievement. We were clearing up on the middle of this map, and a KV2 kind of spawned right behind me, fired at me, and only did damage to my tracks. And I'm like, yeah! I might show you that at some point. But as you can see, the results of some games are absolutely terrible. I get no damage, no kills, nothing at all, and I die twice. So, yeah, this is, you know, it's just as possible for me to suck at this game, and I've had some pretty terrible games as well. So it's not like this game is, you know, amazing when you're playing as a particular faction. You know, it just means you get the slightly bigger guns for whatever. So, you know, what does this mean then in a sense for War Thunder? Well, to be honest with you, for me, I mean, as I said, I enjoy playing this game now, and I'm, you know, I'm having a fun time playing this game with, you know, the vehicles. I even got, you know, Nimbus is also jumping in on occasion, so, you know, that's fun. So there is, you know, there is something positive coming out of this, and I think it's quite nice to a degree. So, yeah, I may make a video in the future of War Thunder, you never know. If not, as again, it falls under the, if I make a video of any kind of game in this genre, then it's not something that I'm going to be doing on a regular basis, sort of thing. So anyway, I've been rambling on for a long while now. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section down below. Hopefully at some point, if I get the nads to do it, I shall eventually try and record myself playing a realistic battle in the air. All I'm going to say in advance is I suck. So please, please, please don't go crazy on me saying, oh, you crap. It's like, I realize that. You telling me this is not going to fix that. Anyway, thank you very much once again. I will catch you next time. This is Miss Jagger, signing out.